Hi, hey, what's up? How you doing? So, as I stated, I did that outline off the camera, so I have been so excited to try these, doing a full-on drawing with them. They're markers I got from Wish. The only problem, I'm regretting agreeing to do it with this particular drawing, because the drawing is big, and you see how these markers are. Like, they were supposed to be in comparison to Copic markers, okay? I'm just going to grab one of my Copics here. Here's my Copic. Okay. There's my Copic. And then there's these. Does that look like it's the same size to you? Okay. Here is the chisel nib on the Copic, which I use a chisel nib when I'm working with a bigger space. Here is the chisel nib on these ones from Wish. They don't call it a chisel nib per se, they call it rod, but it's the same difference. Here is the bullet nib on the Copic, which I don't use the bullet nib very often unless I need to get into the fine detail type of stuff. Here is the bullet nib on the ones from Wish. So I should have filmed because I just finished this, also an Pinterest inspiration. I should have done this drawing using those markers, because this is small. It would have been the perfect size. This is going to take forever. But anyways, I'm excited to try them, regardless of how long it takes. I'm excited about giving these a try. So, I'm going to dive into one of these. Also, sorry, on a different note, if you decide to buy these markers, don't be discouraged. I just dropped my phone. Sorry, guys. Don't be discouraged if you get them in the mail and, there's 3 or 4 that don't have lids on them, because in all honesty, they are shipped from Japan, okay? And anything can happen in packaging, so don't fault Wish for the lids being popped off of them. I've seen a lot of bad reviews and people blaming Wish because the lid popped off, and they were mad when they got them in the packaging because they were dried out because the lid popped off. And yes, while it's frustrating, that's not entirely Wish's fault. Okay? Okay. And no, this is in no way, shape, or form sponsored. Sorry I have to keep putting my phone down. Sucky camera quality. But, I just wanted to throw that out there. Anyways, so I am digging into this yellow one for the inside of his eyes, and it's just called yellow. So, because the inside of his eyes are little, I think I am going to go ahead and use the fine tip, whatever the heck it's called. Focus, thank you. So just by first impressions, you've seen the color on there, and it clearly said yellow. This is more of like a orangey brownish color, so the colors, they can be a little bit misleading. Now the marker itself, it's not half bad. You get 120 for 3 something. I paid, I think, $3.50 plus $1 shipping made it 4 something. But, like, 120 markers for $4, not too bad. They do smear with the black, though, and I just use a basic black Sharpie to outline, and personally, I like to use Sharpie to outline because it usually does not smear with other markers. Okay, so my second color shade for the eyes is going to be this lemon yellow, and I think I'm going to use the broad tip. But yeah, they definitely smear with the black, and it's already dried out. Okay, so I guess we're gonna go with a different shade of yellow. Clearly, you can tell that I've used that particular yellow a lot. Here's a light yellow. I don't know what the color is called, but we're gonna try it. Better. That honestly is more of a yellow than the first marker that I picked up that claimed to be yellow. Because that looks more like an orange. I've never done like a full-on illustration with these markers. Like, I've used them here and there in my art pieces, like just to add in, or I would use a fine point on them whenever I needed to get into like detailed stuff. But I've never used these for a full-on illustration before. And they're not bad. I mean, I would definitely give them a try and see what you think yourself, because they're not horrible, honestly, at all. So for the outside of the eyes, assuming that I haven't used it, because like I said, I've used these in my other artwork, I'm going to use this light blue color, and it's called Focus Peacock Blue. And I'm clearly going to use the broad tip. I'm filming on my phone, and it's frustrating to try to figure out how I'm going to film, and ooh, that is a lot darker than I wanted. Like, see, that's the thing that disappoints me about these markers, is the cap showed like a lighter blue versus that. Cap, that. But these markers do perform really well. They're not smeary, they're not streaky. I mean, you definitely get what you pay for whenever it comes to getting stuff off of Wish. So it's really, Wish is really buy at your own risk type of website. But in all honesty, I would probably buy these markers again. They're not terrible. You're obviously not going to get like Copic markers, like Cali Art markers, or like Ohuhu markers, but for $4, they're really not bad. And if I film another video today, I might compare these to my Copic markers. Although I've been using my Copic markers since before I started trying to turn this channel into an art channel. Like, I have been using them like a lot, so I don't know how many of them still work and how many are dried out, and I probably need to go and replace the ones that are dried out. But Copic markers are so expensive. They're like $8 a marker, which is why I got these things off of Wish. But yeah, like I said, you get what you pay for, but they're not terrible quality markers for $4 for 120. Come on. You really can't beat that. But it does kind of make me mad because, like, I expected that to be a lighter color blue. The only thing that frustrates me is the marker itself can be a little bit misleading compared to the color that's on the cap. But they don't perform bad. I mean, let's just put it this way. Do they perform like coat paint? No. Do they perform like even like Kelly art markers, which have been my favorite here lately? No. But are they decent markers for the price? Yes. Would I buy them again? Probably. Would I use them again? Probably. If I had to rate them, I would probably rate them a 3 out of 5 because they're not terrible markers for the quality. And speaking of quality, the quality of the marker itself is decent. The only reason I am rating them only a 3 out of 5 is because the marker is misleading from what's on the cap. Anyway, sorry I keep having to put my phone down and you guys are left kind of staring at the table or staring at something random. I'm sorry. Okay. I need both hands sometimes, and that's the perks that you get to working with sucky video quality. I'm sorry. Anyways, I'm going to be using this fine tip for the little circle detail in the turtle. And the green that I picked out is called... Don't know how to pronounce it. Shoot. It's called that. Okay, good. It didn't get on my blanket. I dropped that marker and I thought it got on my blanket. And I would have been mad. And then I think I'll use like a lighter green for the turtle. I mean, so far, I've been getting by with only using one layer, so I mean... they're not too terrible. And then normally I take my kneaded eraser after I outline, and then I go and erase all of those pencil lines. I can't find my kneaded eraser. I have no clue where it's at. I don't know if I accidentally threw it away the last time I deep cleaned. That's too dark of a green. Or what I did with it. What about this color green? Sorry guys. Dried out. Trying to choose a color green for the turtle. What about this color green? And then you can see my little swatches I've done out there. Dried out. I might have to use... We're going to find a color green that works. That's not dried out. Where we don't have to use another brand of marker. What about that color green? Ooh, that'll work. So I'm going to use... I don't know why my hand's shaky. Focus. It's called mint green. And then that's what I'm going to use for the turtle. So. That's what I do like about these. Like this little spot right in here, it gets into fine detail really, really well. Sorry, guys. I mean, overall, I like them. You guys might have a different opinion. They're not exactly my favorite markers, but, you know, I will use them. If you're on a budget, hey, for $4, if you can wait a whole entire month and a half for shipping, for $4, pick them up. Now, like I said, I did get some in there that the caps were popped off and whatnot, but I'm not gonna fault Wish for that, because anything can happen in packaging, especially seeing as how they're shipped from Japan. So anything can happen in packaging. That's not entirely Wish's fault. It's not like Wish said, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna stick these, the people working for Wish said, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna stick these markers here and I am going to pop the caps off of them and I'm just going to put them in packaging like that. No, I don't think that's what happened. Like I said, anything can happen in packaging, so I'm not gonna fault Wish for that. But yeah, I'm trying to touch spots up on this right here because it's trying to dry out on me. It's one of the only things that I complain about, because if you're like me and you use marker a lot, I've only had these for a month. And you can see blotchy spots where they were trying to dry out. I think personally this little guy would look pretty cool with watercolor paint. This is an Arteza, however you pronounce it, sketchbook, Arteza. I don't quite know if they are meant to hold watercolor, but I think that, I think he would look pretty cool with watercolor. He's not bad so far, but you can see blotchy spots from like where the marker was trying to dry out, and that blue still irritates me. Anyways. What about that color? That's a pretty color. Sorry, I'm kind of talking to myself / thinking out loud here. I I think that's literally what I should. No, it's not. So I'm going to use, assuming it works, this color green for that part. And I apologize for very, very, very sucky camera quality. Like, even whenever I film on my laptop, it's not the greatest camera quality out there. Does it work? Yes. Why did these dry out so fast? I haven't even used that color yet. Okay, so I'm sorry I have to keep putting my phone down too. I think I'm going to do different shades of like brown for the show. The first brown I'm going to use. See, this says that it's orange. Does that look orange to you? Because I can guarantee you when I go to swatch it, that is not orange. That is brown. Brown. So the colors are very misleading. Anyways. That is definitely not an orange, which I wanted to do like brown for the show anyways, but yeah, that is not an orange. Where'd the lid go? I found it. And that is definitely not my best artwork so far as coloring goes. Sorry, I was talking to my cat. And I'm going to use this raw, however you say it, that color for the rest of it. I like that color. That's a pretty color, brown. It's like a rich colored brown. Sorry, guys. Oh my gosh, my camera quality. He's okay. I'm still mad about that blue. However, I think I'm going to take a lighter color blue and do like a tester blend test. Use this pastel blue and go over it with that. Why not have some fun and use some color for the swirly things on the inside of his shell? Ooh, I like that color. That's a pretty color. Now that color matched the cap pretty well. I don't see why they can't do that with all of the colors, because that color matched the cap almost down to a T. See, look at the cap. compared to the color. That match the color. Like on camera, it's a little bit more like a brown color. But up close, like in person, it's like a pink color. So that's pretty. I like that. So I'm going to use, I can't tell what it is because it's faded off, but it's some type of red color. I'm going to use for the rest of his bow. Focus. And there is the almost completed look. Except I'm going to take this Pacific blue. Not Pacific blue, that was the first color I used that I hated. This pastel blue, and go over the eyes and see if it will lighten it up a little bit. Not really. Kind of, sort of. So they don't blend very well if you want to use them